Hello everyone, I'm Angel Wu. Welcome to Taiwan is my home. Today our first guest is quite interesting. Combination of husband from mainland and Taiwanese wife. The couple sit together, would look as if talking comic dialogue. After one started, the other would know what the other want to say. Would go smoothly on. Sometimes the two will laugh on each other. For more than 10 years, the couple, to the blending of two family, is something with tears and smiles. Maybe it's because of this tacit agreement, the two from many years ago, after all kinds of dumplings open, now their shop is more like a shop not more than 10 square, is a restaurant which provides many dishes. Skillful knife work, accurately on the colorful eggplant, swiping big cuts, then steam in big fire to make fresh color stay. Clear eggplant flips in the red sauce, the big fire stirred fragrant spread. Finishing sauced eggplant, soon big fire rose again. Big chef skills are really something. In short time, 3 dishes are done. Going north and south for business when young, until middle age he is willing to stay in the kitchen. Zhang from mainland China never imagined visit in Taiwan 18 years ago would change his life so much. Walking far for love, such dramatic scene would play real in his own life. I came to see my uncle, and she's goddaughter of my uncle's. My uncle, he is an old Chinese who came in Zhang's era. Just one person. Then I come to Taiwan discovering, oh, his goddaughter is so good to him. At rest time when everyone is at work, then weekends will go to ask, is there anything that I can help? This would make me think, oh, is there such good people in Taiwan? This visit made the two impossible to meet met. The kindness and goodness of Taiwanese girl deeply moved northeastern boy. At the very first moment together in the short 3 months made Mrs. Zhang, who is Tsai, then see on him. The two-story then had the start. Going up the plane, she sent me to the airport. Then I see her facial expression is not good. Then give me a note, should I say this? Why is this person like this? Already speak and ask others then. No, I'm an easy-touched person. Easy to cry any moment. She gave me a note that said, I actually remember it's something like, can I see you again? In the interview, we can see Zhang's funniest words, making wife laugh happily. This northeastern guy, instead of being big pride from the north, humorous personality, Tsai is attracted by his sunny character. Specially told me to see it in the plane. Impossible. When I go up to the gate, I opened and I see the meaning there. And after going back, I go home after the call from that moment. 4 years. Telephone fee more than 70,000. A meeting, a note. Open these 4 years. 1,000 days, hundreds of letters, and never endless overseas call. The two decided to go in marriage. It's quite hard. Then she said, are you coming to Taiwan? I said, okay, then I go. But there's a condition. I said, if I go, I will bring you to stay in Harbin. I'm not in Taiwan. She said, you have to come here to make my family know more about you. Then my mom would agree. Will surely let you bring her daughter. Northeasterners are silly. They had reasons, right? My good business finished the good business in China and I came. Coming to let her family to know me after knowing I can't go back anymore. But the courage to give up, Tsai did not lose her husband. Actually, before Zhong met Tsai, there was a marriage and a child. But Tsai is not terrified by his identity of single parent. But at young age, 20 years old, she decided, man, if say moved, it would be go straight forward, or say, how would I come to Taiwan? That time she told me, we'll just have this son because she knows this son is brought up by me myself. But would the family approve this marriage? To make the two families assured, not only convinced but true actions too. One go far across the sea, saying goodbye to what he is before and the family he knew well, and fight on his business in her hometown. The other really didn't have kids, but taking the son of her husband and former wife as her own, and the Taiwanese girl who never touched kitchen water started to make dumplings. Leaving the comfortable office with her chef husband from Northeast to make restaurant business, moving in the hot kitchen delivering food and greeting customers too. Being together every year, completely cherish every sad or happy times in life. Married nearly 14 years. Knowing 4 years. You see you really cried. Why? It's still so touching when speaking now. So that's how we walked through these changes of us, made us walk together, and the child actually grew up. So say it's really something for us. Hardworking for ourselves, then I think I can see his efforts. Then he said he saw my efforts. So we both are doing our best. Marriage life of supporting each other, Northeast boy and Taiwanese girl's difference slowly dissolves, like Tsai could understand that he thinks dishes and restaurant management should be done himself. What the big stone is oppressing is what Zhongzhou's treasure of the shop, local Northeast sour vegetable. This white layer here is probiotics fermented naturally. It's very good to the body. Usually in Northeast in autumn, big amounts of Chinese cabbage. When producing more, one way to serve it, the whole winter he'd have vegetables. It's sour cabbage invented by the Northeast. How to smoke? When smoking, it requires stable temperature. Low temperature can't ferment. Too high temperature would break it. Cannot touch oil in the whole process. Using time and work at all costs make himself the tough temper of this northern man showed in details in making dishes. Taiwan's weather is not suitable to smoke cabbage, then have to try to put the cost to make it successful should have coolers. To truly make naturally fermented sour cabbage, there's a naturally fermented fragrance and sour but not choking. It's sour but not choking. Just say when eaten the sour but choking sour, it's not right. Just one pot of sour cabbage is already this picky. Zhang's restaurant, many vegetables ingredients are compared like this. To make local Harbin cuisine should come from Harbin. You insist at many times. Actually, we call this fussy in Taiwanese, you know? No later that, oh, my wife say this too. Many people say, I thought it was scolding me. The two words become the most familiar idiom Zhang know now. The responsible and serious character of Harbin man showed in his cooking. Small organic chicken with a mountain treasure wild mushroom from Northeast. This famous Northeastern food, stewed chicken mushroom, is what Zhang is good at. Boiling, frying, stewing. Talking about food freshness takes fire control of the chefs on account. Sand pot slowly boils, delicacy would go through patience. Because Taiwanese love soups, so Zhong specially improved chicken stewed mushroom. To preserve the fresh soup not dried up, 10 years although Zhong changed 4 shops continuously, faithful customers always follows, even made friends with many, even sent their regards when Zhong hurt his elbows by taking the pot for so many years. Wait till I close after closing, then press the horn outside the door. I see he opened the window and say, "Hey, it's my customer." He said, "Boss, I bring you to a good Chinese doctor for needle therapy." I asked my wife for Xizhi. She said it's a bit far. That touching really, my tears nearly fall. From icy Harbin to Taiwan whole year like spring, Zhong stayed for more than 10 years, don't want to leave anymore. Besides, this is wife and child's hometown. Like the weather, the warm milk of human kindness is the scenery, what he likes. Indeed, Taiwan is Zhong's second homeland. Welcome back to Taiwan is my home. Taiwan had less space full of people, or say there's no such money, so horsemanship in Taiwan isn't a common sport for long. Or say the coordination of 4 limbs, riding horse is quite helpful. Our new inhibited necks helps disabled children through horse riding. Horsemanship therapist for rehabilitation, this German mom who married here learned horse riding since young. Then when she accompanies her daughter to overcome cerebral palsy, found horse riding is very helpful to her daughter, so she collects information hard-workingly, taking rehabilitation certification test, and when her daughter slowly grew up, she applied rehabilitation of horsemanship knowledge to more disabled kids in Taiwan. Students of this German mom can participate on international races, even take down prizes. Still studying in university at night, daytime Sun, who is 24 years old, is an assistant coach of Taiwan Horsemanship Therapy Association. Organizing horses, had to quickly train them to go for competition. Yurin is a cerebral palsy child who learned to walk at 5, starting horsemanship therapy at middle school. The 2 foot is still thinner than normal people, unbalanced limbs, working curves, but on the horse, he can stably go big steps forwards. You have to tell him swifting or to tell him big steps. This you can't separate would be hard for the horse to help you. Get it? Coach reminds Yurin to give correct commands to the horse. Because of inborn disability, Yurin speaks not so clear. But Uta from Germany is his coach for nearly a decade. Always understand his problem, helping him to adjust the steps, take up the rhythm, direction, then take it back. 10 years ago, Uta's first student had cerebral palsy, like Yurin, is a 7-year-old girl. My daughter had cerebral palsy, and she can't balance well. Some hand functions are not well too, so they did many physical therapy, work therapy, linguistic therapy, doing everything. Uta, who studied Chinese at Germany 30 years ago, came to Taiwan to learn Chinese. Had a Chinese name Lin Futian, met her husband here, become a Taiwanese wife. Days first come here, Uta ever taught in German schools, ever worked in broadcast channels as a German broadcaster, until becoming a mother who tirelessly bring around a cerebral palsy daughter for therapy. When we go to the hospital, this whole condition, the stress is big. Because it's a big room, many cases are in there for cure, so even my daughter didn't cry, there would be someone crying beside because pulling veins are really very painstaking. When she accompanied daughter for rehabilitation, a speech about horsemanship therapy drew her interest. She rode horse in Germany before, but 10 or 20 years ago, Taiwan's horsemanship therapy is very minor, so she could only bring her daughter to learn ride on horse first. Then I think, just think of a way to make the other kids to accept this kind of therapy because my daughter likes it. She likes the freedom of going around the saddle, and horses big but tamed, giving her goodwill. Nose. Where's the nose? Here. No, nose is here. Horse have long faces, so this is his forehead. And this is his nose, right? Tiyun is a child of microcephaly, weak eyesight with unbalance in the body. Uta trained her to move with a rhythm, to stretch limbs and endure patience. Okay. Come, fight. 1, on the hips to be off, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. When Uta taught daughter, then it's much harder. Daughter's mind is only 4 to 5 years old. Like Tiyun's posture like this is hard for her to understand. Normal people would have learned it in a day, but daughter had to learn from mom's movement. But seeing daughter smile on the horse, she thinks if horsemanship therapy they can make daughter improve, then bring kids who need therapy out of the hospital to feel connection with nature and animals. For a substitute beside formal therapy, would parents and kids be more happy? Like my daughter, she has epilepsy, sometimes a cure. She was well then, but suddenly she don't have power in her foot. Then when you are on the road, suddenly you have to try carrying her. Moms can't carry child anymore. One day, Uta hoped to quickly train patience and balance of her daughter and to manage herself. Stepping a step of her own, hardship of having a disabled child, Uta can especially feel it. Flying back Germany to learn horsemanship therapy, go to America for horsemanship therapy coach certificate. Planning to take this rehabilitation to Taiwanese horse farms. Then I wanted to train some physic therapists to make them horseman therapists, but therapists had long working hours, Saturday work too, and Sundays for lessons. So when I trained them some basic riding skills, way to lead the horses, after some basic lessons, everyone lies down, all cannot already. Horsemanship therapy is a working team needing 3 to 5 persons. Besides Uta, who is responsible for riding therapy, sometimes need one to support disabled child on the saddle. Physic therapists specialized in limb rehabilitation. Uta's daughter don't dare to go up herself, needs one to help her lead the horse, like Tiyun needed a lead horse person and a company person to ensure her safety. Because people and the costs are big, lack of resources Uta have to give up. Then there would be no one besides me, and I had to take care of the horses and the location too. Trim grasses, clearing downs, everything myself, then that can be done to do anything. After some years, Uta and daughter's kindergarten teacher met, who brought her to a horsemanship therapy center who is willing to develop this. Uta then took up her horsewhip again. Horses don't like to go backwards. If it does, means it will listen to you, because for horses, only horses that have higher reputations then can make it go back. Before letting children up the horse, the coach must let the horse obediently hear the commands, helping kids on the horseback to let horse stand still. This is the special action of taming the horse. Domingo is said to be the most obedient usually, is not cooperative today. The forelegs just won't stand right. Uta's whips lightly go on the horse foot, giving it orders. His front legs are good, just his back right foot over there. So maybe this is some balance not good in his body, need his right feet in. Uta took off the saddle then, let it roll beside, and have sand bath. Continue after relaxing, thinking this would be okay, Uta take out her ends, wanting conmigo to go to her direction. Our aim is to let it go with him, but don't know why. Keep losing concentration. Kids on the saddle with the accomplishment of going freely and overcoming such a big thing makes Uta happy too. Recently, Uta just brought him come back from foreign races. Good news is to take down the qualification for going in World Cup horsemanship for the disabled for Taiwan. Yurin is the first Taiwanese athlete to stay in that line. What can we see? We see a S-curve, don't we? You too, your foot, your body, should it be its line? Yurin's disabilities, right foot out of shape, the other foot doesn't have much power too. Normal athletes don't need special warming. Yurin needs to take soft gymnastics. After going up the horse, because of tough pelvis, it's not easy to control horse. So at first must use this and foot. Then later slowly let the feet. Don't put effort anymore. Then completely use this to replace. Then every time when it does, some accurate responses, you must encourage it. It slowly will know, oh, so this means like this. It then can accept these years' big and small competitions. Uta's education overcame inborn disabilities, taking horsewhip as foot, taking down many prizes in the competition of disabled horsemanship. Then when my daughter go to school, I have time to do other things, right? Then I can use this time to help other kids because seeing some changes in the kids, I think this is very meaningful. I think it should be developed a way to this therapy. Because of daughter, she became coach of horsemanship therapy. Now daughter, who is 24 years old, graduated and started to work already. Daughter still loved horse when she grew up. Uta teaches the hobby too. Taught many kids who won't cry for the disabilities anymore, bringing them to the horsemanship competition approved by many prize. My home is here. There's many in Germany. Seem to not need me. There's less in Taiwan, so I think it's meaningful to do this. For this belief, Uta drive every day from Tansui home to Horsemanship Curing Center in Chunli for teaching. This is the duty that she carries coming here for 30 years. From a German mom who had disabled child to a horsemanship coach to help Taiwanese kids find their confidence. So many years, she puts efforts on horsemanship rehabilitation, big consistency, big insistence. We thank her efforts. Thank you for watching. See you next time.